Alright, this is dividing fractions and mixed numbers. Before we get started, let's talk about some division keywords. Dividend is the first number in our division problem. This one is known as the dividend. And then the divisor is what we are dividing by, and it is the one that the second number in our division problem, or the one after the division symbol. So that one's called the divisor. And then the solution to this problem, here, this is the quotient. The quotient is the solution. So that when we come up with the answer, that's the quotient. So in this problem, A over B, this one, in general terms, is the dividend. It's always the first one, is the dividend. And the second one here, this is the divisor. Always after the division symbol is the divisor. And again, the answer to this problem, or the solution here, this would be the quotient. The quotient is the solution to a division problem. Okay, so those are our first words. Now we need to understand what a reciprocal is, and then we can start to do our division of fractions. A reciprocal is defined as, or we find the reciprocal of a number. One fraction is the reciprocal of another fraction if their product is 1. You remember that product is the solution to multiplication. So if we multiply two fractions together and we get a solution of 1, then we know they are reciprocals of each other. For instance, 5/8 multiplied by 8/5. We multiply 5 by 8 and we get 40. And we multiply 8 by 5 and again we get 40. And we know that any number over itself is the same as 1. So we can see that this product of this is 1. So we know that 5/8 and 8/5 are in fact reciprocals of each other. All right, so what is the reciprocal of these fractions? All right, let's see if we can find the reciprocal of these numbers. What is the reciprocal of 1/2? Well, I know that if I take 1/2 of 2, that I will get back to 1, because I know that half of 2 is 1. So in this case, I can see that 1/2 multiplied by 2 over 1, remember when we multiply a fraction by a whole number, we put the whole number over 1. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, and 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. But what do we notice about these numbers? 1 over 2 and 2 over 1. When we find the reciprocal, we're actually inverting this, aren't we? We're flipping it over so that my denominator becomes my numerator and my numerator becomes my denominator. That is a way of looking at finding the reciprocal. Okay, so let's look at this next one, the mixed number 5 2/3. First thing we're going to want to do is change it to an improper fraction. And you may recall we do that by multiplying the whole part 5 multiplied by the denominator 3. To that we add the existing numerator 2, and we put that all over the common denominator of 3. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17/3. 17/3 is an equivalent improper fraction to the mixed number 5 2/3. All right, but what we're really trying to find is the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 17/3, we want to find what do we multiply 17/3 by to get to 1. Well, we saw up here that we just inverted it. Let's see if that works again. So 17/3 multiplied by 3/17, that would give me 17 multiplied by 3 is 51, and 3 multiplied by 17 is 51. 51 over 51, or any time the numerator and the denominator are the same, we know we have 1. So 3/17 is the reciprocal of 17/3, and which also will tell us it's the reciprocal of 5 2/3. Again, up here we should note that 2 over 1 is the reciprocal of 1/2. All right, what do we think that the 11/12? Can you make a guess before I tell you? What will be the reciprocal of 11/12? Maybe you've seen the pattern now and you see that all we have to do is invert or flip over the number and we will get the reciprocal. 11 multiplied by 12, if we can do it over here and show how to do the multiplication of two-digit numbers. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Put a placeholder 0. This is 2 and 1. We add 132. And again, 11 twelfths is the same as 12 elevenths. 132. So we know we have 1 here. We know that the commutative property tells us that 11 times 12 is the same as 12 times 11, so we can see, even from back here, that those two will, in fact, be 1. All right, what's the reciprocal of 5? Well, first of all, we want to make it a fraction, so we have 5 over 1, and then we can easily see that the reciprocal would be 1 over 5, because when we multiply those together, we get 5 over 5, which is 1. And again, the definition of a reciprocal is numbers are reciprocals of each other if when you multiply them together, the solution or the product of that is 1. So there we go. There are our reciprocals. Now we should understand how to find reciprocals. And that will help us in our division problems. We can, any division problem can be converted or written as a multiplication problem. We make it the multiplication of the reciprocal of the divisor, where the divisor again is the second number, the one after the division symbol. Okay, so that's very complicated seeming, isn't it? Well, let's consider this. 4 divided by 2. This is a fairly simple problem that we all can see. We know the answer is 2, right? 4 divided by 2 is 2. But let's look at this as a multiplication problem. So what we said was we can change any division problem into multiplication. 4 divided by 2, we make that 4 multiplied by, and we find the reciprocal of the divisor, that second number. Again, we just saw that the reciprocal of 2 was 1/2. So 4 multiplied by 1/2, we can write this as a fraction, 4 over 1. Multiplied by 1/2, we multiply our numerators together, 4. We multiply our denominators together, 2. This is an improper fraction. To change it to a mixed number, we say how many times does 2 go into 4, and that is 2. There we go. 4 multiplied by 1/2 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now with a problem like 4 divided by 2, we probably don't need to change it to multiplication. But when we're dividing by fractions, it's easier for us to convert it to a multiplication problem and then go through our multiplication process. So here we go with the steps for division of fractions. To divide fractions, we convert the problem to multiplication. First, find the reciprocal of the divisor. The divisor is always the one that is after the division symbol. Then we're going to rewrite the problem as multiplication, then write the product of the numerators over the product of the denominators, and if possible, simplify. These two steps are just simply multiply fractions, right? Nothing new here. We convert to multiplication, and then we follow our steps for multiplication. So let's look at this first example. 5/3 divided by 1/4. All right, so we'll rewrite the first, the dividend, or the first fraction, and not change anything. We change this division symbol to multiplication, and we invert or find the reciprocal of the divisor, the second number here. So there we go. These two problems are equivalent. 5/3 divided by 1/4 and 5/3 multiplied by 4. Multiply our numerators together and get 20, and we multiply our denominators together and we get 3. There's no way to reduce this. We don't have any common factors in the numerator and the denominator, but we could change it to a mixed number if we want. 3 into 20, it goes 6 times with 2 left over, so 6 2/3. There is the solution to this division problem. Let's look at another one. 9/10 divided by 7/4. So first we want to rewrite the problem. The first one, or the dividend, we just write down. Nothing changes about it. We change the division symbol and find the reciprocal of the divisor, or the second one. These are equivalent problems. This division problem and this multiplication problem are the same thing. So now we multiply our numerators together. 4 times 9 is 36, and 7 times 10 is 70. We have a common 2 in both the numerator and the denominator, so 2 multiplied by 18 divided by 2 multiplied by 35. Our 2's cancel, and I think that's it. I think we don't have any other common factors in the numerator and the denominator. So 18/35 is the solution to 9/10 divided by 7/4. Okay, we can do one more here. 16/25 divided by 15/32. We write the first, or the dividend, the first fraction down. We change the division to multiplication, and we have to do the combination of things, or we'll change the balance of the equation. We invert or find the reciprocal of the divisor, the second one. Okay, so now we have 16 multiplied by 32 over 15 multiplied by 25, and we could multiply 16 and 32 out longhand. We certainly know how to do that. Or we could use our calculator here. 32 multiplied by 16 gives me 512. 512 is my numerator, and 25 multiplied by 15 is going to give us our denominator of 375. Looking back here, I can see I have factors in 2, 4, and 8. 32 also 2, 4, 8, 16, but no 5s. 25 is the prime factors are 5 and 5, and 15, 3 and 5. So since 3 doesn't go into either of those and 5 doesn't go into either of those, we actually are done here. So 512 over 375 is 16/25 divided by 15/32. When we learn the procedures and we follow them, then we can find the answers to problems like this.